Alright, so today is the day. I'm gonna load this thing up, put a couple 3-liters up there. I'm sure it'll handle the weight. And I just gotta figure out which ones I don't feel like working on in the next month or so.
Alright, in this video, we're going to be loading the shelf that I built, trying to get some stuff off the ground. I did end up putting a lot of lighter stuff up there. That was a better idea my girlfriend came up with. Just stuff that I could lift by myself instead of loading the truck. But yeah, we're going to be going through some projects and check out what we got on the agenda for this winter.
I think it's 84 200X. Probably going to put the Honda Spree up there. It's nice and light. Probably not going to be scooting anytime soon. This is a little restoration project, tri-zinger, that I'm going to do for my daughter. She was just born this month though, so I think I got a little time to work on this one. So yeah, those three are going to go up there. Here's a tri-zinger frame, some other parts that I just got from a bundle deal. I'll have to find a spot for those. Here's the current projects boxes, parts for stuff that came in. So this is another 200X that I got that I'm gonna probably work on pretty soon, so I'm gonna leave this one down. 600R is XR 600R is running good. Just had the valves done on it and one new rocker. The decompression lever on the rocker actually snapped. Now it's working properly. Whole motor had to come out. Did not know that on these XRs you cannot work even on the valve cover without taking the motor out. So big motor, small bike, great fun bike though. 292 pounds and 46 horsepower. Thing is a freaking blast. And being street legal, drive straight to the trails. This is a 1984 Big Red. Just completed the tank on it with a vinegar wash. So that's nice and clean. I got the carb sitting in some carb cleaner, and that should be ready to go. If the carb doesn't come out good, I do have a China carb I'm going to throw on there. I do have a few people interested in this one. Do need to sell a couple of units just so I can store everything inside this winter. This is another 1984 Honda 200X. This one needs some brake rebuilds on the front and rear sprocket. Obviously a little tire sealer on that one, but all the other tires hold good air. Tank is nice and clean on the inside of this one. She purdy. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the blue, so I don't know if I'm going to tear this whole thing down or not, or leave the frame blue and paint the rest of the plastics that were painted blue back to red. I definitely don't like this seat cover. I might get a new seat cover for it. This thing never ran the greatest. I don't know if we got good compression or not. I'll have to test that too, but I got it pretty cheap, so this is another project I'll screw around with. Nothing in the near future though. This will be midwinter. All right, this is a 1985, I believe. Yeah, 1985 200S. I don't really know what's going on there. It's just grease and oil and stuff, but this is another one that had a carb issue. Otherwise, really clean unit. Tires are good on it, plastics are good on it, nothing cracked. Pretty sure tank was good on this one. Yeah, tank is super clean. So good to go on that. This will probably be one of the sooner projects I'm gonna get after. I do have a new China carb for it, so we'll try cleaning the original or whatever's on there. I do have an ultrasonic cleaner now, so we could try that with some simple green. If not, like I said, I got that extra backup carb, and this should be another one going up for sale. Just needs a little button here. But yeah, otherwise super clean. This is a Wave Blaster 2. This one is ready to rock. Nothing wrong with this one. This has got the 760 motor in it. It's about 90 horsepower as opposed to the 700s, which are only about 72 horse. Then we got the purple bottoms. Love these things. Bought this one this year. This one has some sort of issue with overheating, or the overheating sensor is bad, because the motor really doesn't feel hot. I put my hand on it when it tries to shut down or whatever. These things do have a limp mode in them, so that's something I have to take a look at. It's probably just a sensor. You can boil it and figure out if they're good or not. This one is totally good. This is second nicest one. This is my rider. My dad and friends ride this one. This is the cleanest one I have, another 94. Never had an issue with this one. These both run really good. This is kind of the rat of the group. I'll just scoop this thing up. I don't really know what's going on with the bottom there. Doesn't look like a repair, just looks like they went through the gel coat, maybe from beaching it too much. But yeah, we got that pretty cheap. An aluminum trailer, so I couldn't really pass it up. This one only tested 130 psi or 135 psi front and rear cylinder. It does run, but not the best, probably till it warms up. So I'm thinking the rings are probably kind of toasty on this one. But 130, 135, they'll still run. And like I said, I basically got it, even just for parts, it'd be worth what I paid for it. So plus got a new seat cover on it, pretty sharp. So those are the Wave Runner projects. All right, and that brings us to the trusty old John Deere. I actually bought this thing when I was in 5th grade. Mowed a lot of the lawns in the neighborhood back when I lived in Illinois. And it's been in good shape. It's been taken care of. I feel bad for it sitting out here for the last couple months, but carburetor screwed up on this thing too. But now I got that ultrasonic cleaner, I'll probably have a chance at cleaning these things out and getting everything running again. That's the idea. So not super urgent on my list. Don't need it this winter. Probably put it underneath the deck. But yeah, we'll get this thing going by spring. And that brings us to the 1995 Yamaha Kodiaq 4x4. This is a 400cc semi-auto, clutchless utility ATV. First utility ATV I ever had. I actually inherited this from my girlfriend's dad, who unfortunately passed. I bought it off her ma for $500. Wasn't running at the time, so I put a China carb on it. Runs all right, but the float's kind of crappy on it. And then it was sitting for a while. When I went to go change the oil, there was a bunch of metal shavings in it, so not super happy about that. But anyways, we'll dig into this. And I don't know if it's going to be this winter, but definitely by spring we'll get this thing up and running, cleaned up. And I'd like to really restore this whole thing. It'd be really cool to have this thing all nice again. I did put some new tires on it this last season. We did ride around a little bit, like I said, but we did get some metal shavings in the oil filter, so I do want to check it out a little bit more before we ride it too much and end up ruining the motor. So all right, and this is not a project. This is just a backup 185S. Me and the girlfriend have 185Ss, so this is literally just, I paid a couple $100 for this thing. If we need parts or plastics, the plastics are good on it. The forks are blown. Carb float screwed up on it. It did start for a split second when we did buy it, but tires are good. A lot of good parts on here. For what I paid for it, first part or two, we'll pay for this whole unit, so that's that. All right, and this is a 1982 Honda ATC 185S. This got the rigid fork on it. It's also got these extenders, which rakes out the fork a little bit and raises the tire away from the fender, so it's a little taller. Plus, it's got these 8-pagers on it. Put these square Sun F tires on the back. This thing's a little ripper. It's got a DG pipe. Only rear brakes on it. But yeah, this thing wheelies. I'm not a light guy, and this thing really rips. Plastics are terrible on this thing, at least in the rear. Like I said, I got that other 185S. I might throw the plastics on it from that. But yeah, this is a great little unit. I got to fix the pull starter on there, and could use a chain and sprockets pretty soon. But yeah, not a big project at all. This is my 1999 Suburban. Sorry for the road noise here. Live on a busy road. But yeah, I bought this thing about 4 years ago. Had 35s on it and a 6-inch rough country lift. I put a 3-inch body lift. Put 488 gears front and rear. Put a rear girdle on the rear end. Strengthen it up a little bit. The interior is currently half together. I replaced the carpet on it. I got a big stereo for this one as well. We're gonna be putting in there. It's got Fuel Maverick 2 pieces on it. They're 24-inch by 14-inch negative 76 offset and 40-inch Nitto tires that are 15.5-inch wide. When I first put this all together, it would go, or it wouldn't really go and really wouldn't stop, so I did the gears on it. Yukon 488s. And to get it to stop, I went to one ton front calipers and 1 ton rear masters in the drums. I also did braided lines. Yeah, you can see it right there. See the flex lines. I did braided lines on it, front and rear. Did the drilled and slotted rotors up front. And it does stop pretty decent now. So that was the cheapest fix. Aftermarket brakes for these things are like $2,000. Only one company makes them. So this is only about $450 to do it that way. But yeah, only really project that I need to do on this thing. I just did the brake line. It was rusted out, so I completed that. I do have a double din that the original owner tried to put in the original dash, but I just got one of those Metra 2-din conversion dash kits for it, so we'll be putting that in. Just the front 2 seats and dash are basically completed. Rear seat is in. I need to do the rear door panels, and all the wiring's complete. I just need to hook everything up. I built some custom boxes for some 2 kicker L710s with a Rockford Fosgate amp and a kicker amp for the interior speakers. I got 6.5s all the way around, 2 ways with separate tweeters, so this thing should bang pretty good. All right, and this is my 1991 Mustang Fox body notchback. I bought this car about 10 years ago in Illinois when I lived back there. I ran it with the motor I had in it for, I don't know, probably about 2 years. Finally lost oil pressure on it. It was pretty tired when I first got it. But yeah, this thing was supposed to be my little race car. Due to financial situations over the years, it got mostly built and then neglected. Never really finished the thing. Thing is drivable the way it is, but yeah, I put a 306 Ford crate motor in there. Did a lot of suspension work. I just got these new wheels and tires for it, and did a new rear end girdle for it as well. The other one was not serviceable, so there you go. So I replaced that. Got new KYB rear shocks in there that are adjustable. I have the fronts, I just haven't put them in yet. I was driving this summer, and then all of a sudden the injectors took a crap on me. So I got to get a set of new injectors, but this thing should be a quick project in the spring and a lot of fun to drive. This is a 1986 Honda 250R. Just got a chain and sprockets in for that. New clutch cover gasket, new throttle cable. The bars are bent on it a little bit on the left side. So I would like to get a new set of bars. I may have some laying around somewhere. I just got to take a look. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty simple project. I would like to check the jetting on the carb just to make sure that it doesn't pop under the first really good ride on it. So, but yeah, plastics are good on this thing, and it's really my prized possession right there. I love that thing. Then there's this neglected Honda CB360. I bought this from avid motorcycle mechanic or whatever out in Iowa. I don't know, I was buying cafe racers, ones that were kind of bradded out with the loop to rear seat on it. I had 2 of those, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to have an original one. This thing ran perfect until the throttle cable stuck on it. And it's not the throttle cable, something got stuck inside the carb, one of the carbs, and it went full throttle on it. Luckily I was the one riding it, so nobody got hurt. I've had so many other projects I was working on, so unfortunately this thing's been sitting for 2.5, 3 years, so maybe this winter I'll get after that one. Then down here, we got a 1977 and 1979 Puch. They're an Austrian moped, so they actually have pedals on them. Up here in Michigan, it's only a $15 registration for 3 years. You're not required to run insurance on them. And yeah, I don't know, these are cool little things to blast around town on. Funny story on this one. So I actually bought this 2 years ago from a fella over on West Bay. This is a super clean 1989 Kawasaki 650SX stand-up. It's got a high compression head on it. It's got a better intake rate and prop for better torque coming out of the water. It's got nice bars on it and grips and throttle. Anyways, hull's super clean on it. You really don't find them like this. So story goes, I had it for about a year. Earlier this year, a kid from downstate, Mac, actually bought it from me. And him and his buddies rode all summer. They went out to Torch Lake and did a couple trips on it. And then I saw it for sale again. And I kind of missed it. So he gave me a fair deal on it to get it back. And it was only gone for the summer. Then there. And if you made it this long, those are some of the projects I have. So as you can see, that's why I really needed to get my garage insulated and make the least productive time as far as work goes for me the winter, because I'm usually off, into the most productive time. Spend the whole winter out here in the garage, have some buddies come over, drink some beers, and hopefully get some stuff done. I want to try and get at least half this stuff fixed for next season. I like to get rid of a couple of the toys. I'd really like to build a pole barn out in this section over here. So if lumber prices come down and people buy some of my crap I got laying around, there's going to be a barn building episode as well, so stay tuned. And the last vehicle is a 1987 Ford Mustang GT. It has a 331 stroker and a Vortec blower. I just put this into storage. So if you've made it this far, this wraps up the video. If you can comment below on what you'd like to see, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, and this is the end result. 16 vehicles, and you still got room to work and hang out. Got the TV going up in that corner. Heater's gonna be going up over here. Already got the insulated door in. Insulate the ceiling coming soon. And that's a wrap, you guys.